Hello, Kelly, who works at the BMW factory in Spartanburg, South Carolina. See More Better here with freeprescriptionlenses.com and your neighbor to the north here in North Carolina. But call me Mo Better, because I might be seeing Mo Better, looking Mo Better. When I cut the Essilor Ideal Advanced Transitions Signature 8 gray lenses with Crizal Easy for your BMW. This is the... Now, you make cars, I make lenses. They send me the frames, but this is, of course, it's got the BMW propeller emblem on there. You even get the BMW cleaning cloth that's in this bag, and we'll get to that in a moment. But this is the model number, the 6045, color 50, 49 eye size, 20 bridge, meaning it's 49 millimeters from the corner of this lens to the corner of this lens, 20 millimeters from the inside corner to the inside corner of that one. And let's take everything out of the original bag that you will get, all the manufacturer's original packaging, including the demo lenses that have the BMW emblem on there. But you saw my video on BMW, you saw the frame that I'm wearing and you wanted it, so let me go ahead and make it for you. I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses that you will receive. I'm going to put your frame into the tracing element of my blocker. First, I need to assign a number to this so that years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I can mail them right to your home and you don't have to mail me the frame anymore, even though we're only a few hours away from each other. But you are Secret Agent 1833. Let me go ahead and enter that into the system and hit start. A little stylus is going to pop up and go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic BMW frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account flex dollars, you'll get reimbursed for this purchase. So in just a moment, the shape will pop up onto the computer. Buffering. Why does everything have to buffer? I guess it's just thinking about what it's doing. We all do that from time to time. I'm going to move on to the next screen. Your pupillary distance for your right eye and your left are both 27.5. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap the minus button a few times till we get to 27.5. I'm going to raise the invisible bifocal, the seg height, up to 25. Change the layout screen from single vision to progressive, because you're getting the Essilor Ideal Advanced Digital Freeform Progressive lenses. This is a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach two double-sided adhesive stickers to your lenses, of which I've got two here. I'm going to put that onto the first one. The black side is the sticky side, by the way. Stick that on the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now on the back, that little silver button is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. Get that laid out there just perfectly. And the blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that in inset. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet. I don't have to change the pupillary distance or the optical center height. That is the same for both eyes. The bifocal height's always the same. Well, most of the time it's the same. It's rare that the eyes are, but in this case it is. Hit that button. The block comes down and is now placed onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home and you won't need this guy with the bad jokes and the two thumbs to do it for you. The actual cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel on the left. That's what's going to grind away the lens material from this size down to this size. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So press this on. Well, actually I got to wake up the computer. 1833, that's the shape that I'll be cutting. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stick with polycarbonate for the safety factor. I just love polycarbonate. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. press the block on there firmly. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or by now you know I like to call it the Charles because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. So I'm going to hit the start button. The door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's tracing the shape of the right lens. And the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once is measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you will have hardly any, if any, with your prescription in this frame. The light you see flickering in the background is water there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle. Now water will spray onto your lenses, but only for the last 20 seconds to wash away any optical debris that you may see beginning to form on your lenses. But as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses, the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and flying debris. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin there in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every few hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. Now, speaking of protection, since you work at the BMW factory, now you're in quality control, so you're not on the factory floor like all the workers. But this is the same lens material that OSHA requires to be worn in safety glasses for people who are on the factory floor. Now, these are not safety glasses. It's just the same lens material. Now you have the new Transition Signature 8 series gray lenses. One of the first Transitions 8, and being so new, they have gone up a little bit in price. I need to adjust that on the website. I do apologize, but there is a price increase with the new product. Every iPhone that comes out, the price goes up. So I may have to go up about $10. Hopefully total, worst case scenario per lens. I was a little shocked when I got this invoice, to be honest with you. So I try and set my prices as low as possible, but Transition is proud of the new Signature 8, and it was a big price jump for me. So a little lever has come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning disc, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool. That's applying the safety bevel to the back surface of the lens. In just a moment I will take the lens out, but first I'm going to open the door with my mind. You like that I can do other things with my mind. I just can't melt. I can melt ice with my mind. I just got to stare at it for a couple hours. The only thing I can't do with my mind is come up with new jokes. So if you have something funnier for me to say, write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me, and I will say it on the air. You don't even have to include your name. I'll recognize your handwriting and give you credit for it. So the lens is still a little large, so I'm going to take it down a little bit more, about 1/10 of a millimeter, going around all the way around the circumference of the lens until it pops right in there. The old saying, you can always cut more off of a lens, you can never add it back on. So I start a little bit large and work my way down. I will write down how far I need to cut it down to make it fit perfectly. I do not want to force the lens into the frame. If it was forced in there using heat or just forcing it, would cause the frame to stretch, or what we in the industry call roll. If you can imagine your frame being like a gutter, the bottom of the lens would roll outwards, giving you an ugly cosmetic look as well as shortening the life of the frame. So it's a corny saying, but the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra at the beginning, and I'm going to take the time to do it right. It takes an extra minute, minute and a half. Now you guys are the ones subject to that because you have to listen to me talk for an extra hour and a half. My condolences. So, but the right lens takes a little bit longer. When we get the right lens just right, we'll flip it over and cut the left on the first try. So Kelly, I want you to open the door with your mind this time. Concentrate, concentrate. Good job, Kelly. First day on the job and you're getting it right. So let's dry everything off. Run my thumbnail around to get any optical sawdust that the water did not spray. So when you get these years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I have the side I'm working on closest to me, elbows at my sides, arms bent at a right angle, tuck it in at the outside corner. And with round, you got to work it literally going around, but that popped in there easily. Flip that over to L, press that on there firmly, hit the start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens again will be traced by the two wide styluses, making sure the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as this going around, tracing the shape of the left side of the frame. And just like before, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel. So you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which, Kelly, you got none. You see that? Nothing. Niata, Nente, 9, low. Nothing, I tell you. You got nothing. So, dry that off, throw that in there. I moved my sticker collection down there. We're going to put that on there. Now, I washed off all my dots. Now, all invisible bifocals have two laser engravings, one at the nasal area, one at the temporal. With your PD, the nasal one is cut off. I only need one. Place it right there. Put a dot at the cross, and that's where I'm going to measure. Now, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. You know I had to say it somewhere in there. So your prescription reads -150, -1 at 180. I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 180. Put it in just above that black dot that I've already smeared. And read the power. And I'm getting -150, exactly halfway between 1 and 2. That's because the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 0 and going in quarter increments from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, and so on. You're on the 6th rung of a ladder. You are -150 is the spherical. Your lens, you are nearsighted, so to see far away, you need 6 steps of far-sighted correction. There's a minus sign because your lens is minify. With your glasses off, everything is much too large. So once it's the correct size, you have 4 steps of astigmatism correction. You have a second curve on your eye. At -150 this way, 90 degrees away, you have another -1, which is steeper. This is flatter, this is steeper. That's how we line up those 2 curves to make everything crisp. Ironically, you're at 180 in both eyes, but let's check the second curvature. And we're at -250, exactly halfway between 2 and 3. Remember high school algebra where you add 2 like signs together? Yeah, don't worry, everyone's forgotten that. Let's use today's terms. Someone borrowed $1.50 from you, then they borrowed another $1, they would owe you $2.50 in the red. That's where we're at, $2.50 in the red. Now your left eye, you only need 4 steps of far-sighted correction, but you need 6 steps of astigmatism correction, -1, -150. The opposite of your eye, -150, -1. Still at the same axis. Now this frame, the BMW 6045, comes in 3 colors. There's a blue tortoise, there's a classic, this is the blue tortoise, there's a classic tortoise, and then there's a gray tortoise. They sell for $250. You get 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses. However, Kelly, like me, needs to wear the invisible bifocal. The Essilor Ideal Advanced Digital Freeform Progressive Lens in polycarbonate adds $149.99. The transitions at this point is $79.99. I may have to go up because of the new transition Signature 8. And of course, Crizal Easy is $69.99 for today's total of $55.49.97. Let's dry everything off, take the lens out, run my thumbnail around, get the optical sawdust off the lens, tuck it in at the outside corner, press down, it snaps right in, pull the block away, take off the sticker, use my hand-approved drying method, throw that back in there, add that to my sticker collection, and of course the dot is gone. Let's put, oh, you still got one on the nasal area there. We're going to put one right there. Line up those 2 dots on the graph. Put a dot right there. Say it with me. If you missed any of that, let me recap. You moan, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. Put it in just above the black dot that I put there. So we're going to read the power. And we're still on the same 180 axis. Check the power. We're getting -1. You have 6 steps of astigmatism correction. We end up at -250, exactly halfway between 2 and 3, just like we did for the right eye. Pupillary distance is 27.5 for both eyes for a total of 55. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against, if I can find it, PD stick against my thumb. We hold it up to the left lens. We're getting 55 millimeters, so that's cut perfectly. Let me check the optical center height of 25. Putting that there. Now I'm putting it across because you're going to measure to the middle bottom of the frame. So I'm going to get that lined up, and when we get there, we're getting 25 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. 25 millimeters, that is cut perfectly. So this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the US, but when you get these in the mail, there is a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And I'm no different. I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you in just a moment. But one thing I want to mention is most people on the internet are now having to charge tax. I am in North Carolina. North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device. There is no tax on medical devices. So this frame that was purchased, frame and lens combination that was purchased for $549.97, tax in North Carolina is 7.5%. $549.97 times 7.5. If this were any other retail item, you would pay an additional $41.25, but you don't have to do that since I'm in North Carolina. But when you get these in the mail, like I said, if they're too loose or too tight, just stop by your local optical shop and just tell them that. If it's high on one side, it only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses perfectly, but I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take off my BMW 6045, is that right? I can't see with my glasses off. Color 50 and the 49 eye size. Mine's over here. When I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. Look, we got twins here. We got twins. I'm farsighted, you're nearsighted. There's no way I can see out of yours. Flip that over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, that neither temple is askew. Check the tension on each spring hinge to make sure that is perfect, and that is. If one was looser or tighter than the other, I would adjust the opposite side so that'd be matching. But I send out a selfie request in every package. Kelly, I would love to have your selfie with you on the floor next to the BMWs being made in the factory in Spartanburg, South Carolina. But I also send out cleaning instructions, not only how to care for your frame and lenses, but for your eyeglass case, the premium microfiber cloth that I provide, your BMW cleaning cloth, which doubles as a carrying bag. So you can use this if you don't want to carry the hard case. You've got this to carry them by. It's got the BMW emblem in the bottom corner of the bag, just like on the case, just like on the side of the temple. But so this is the first time. There's some lint on this cleaning cloth. But when you get this in the mail and you see a wrinkle in here, you know that it works. You can't say that it doesn't. I field test every cleaning cloth before I ship. And there's some lint on this one. I may have to get you a new one. But I'm going to go ahead and activate them, which means I'm going to expose them to one strong burst of ultraviolet light. I got a little optical sawdust on here. It's going everywhere. I'm going to use your cloth. Let's do that. Let's use yours to clean the lenses. Missed that when I was popping the lens in. Okay, now it's clean. I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. As you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. Now, Kelly and everyone else listening, this is important. Pay attention. All transition lenses get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day they're exposed to the sun for the first 2 weeks. After that, they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time the transition 7 and 8 lenses won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they don't get dark in a car. Now they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Now there are the Transitions Extra Active will get 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. It will also get darker outside. Man, that Transition Signature 8 is darker. So they do say, this is the first time I've done it, they say that it's 30% darker than Transition 7, and I can believe that. So maybe it's worth that extra money they're charging now. This is a really nice product. This is the first Transition Signature 8 that I've done. It also has the Crizal Easy Anti-Glare. Now these Transitions also have 30 to 40%, they block 30 to 40% of the harmful blue light emitted from today's electronic devices. It's also lightning even faster. Man, this is nice. This is nice. These new Transition Signature 8 get real dark real fast and return back to virtually clear even faster than the 7. As I keep talking, these are going to get lighter and lighter. This is really nice. All right, folks, it's worth the extra money I got to charge for these. This is really nice. Normally it takes a long time for them to start to turn back because I expose them to a very strong burst of ultraviolet light, and several bursts, by the way, not just one, to get them to activate real fast. But as I keep running my math, they're lightning, and it's going to continue to. So if you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to do another BMW frame tomorrow around this time, so you'll get to see that one. 2 in 2 days. How about that? If you you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com, and on Twitter as freerxlenses. If you have any questions, if there's any BMW frames out there you want that I don't have in stock on my website, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, or simply click the contact me button on the website. You can also leave a question or comment in the comment section below, and I'll respond back to that. Look how fast they are turning. Man, that is nice. That is nice. Man, Transition Signature 8, I gotta admit, I'm sold on my first pair. I've got to order a pair of these. Very, very nice. So, again, Kelly in Spartanburg, South Carolina, thank you so much for the purchase of the BMW 6045, the 49i size in the color 50, which is the blue tortoise. Again, there's a classic brown tortoise and a gray tortoise. This is part of the BMW collection. Thank you very much, and hopefully now everyone else has got a chance to see how quickly you turn back to clear and how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.